All right, how you doing? It's the radio guy, the Dr. Mike Prince. Welcome to another episode of the Mike Prince Show. We are getting closer and closer to the weekend. That's always a good thing. Those of you who like to keep up with us on the social media handle for Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, it's all the same, the Mike Prince Show. The YouTube nation that is building slowly but surely is Open Mic Broadcast Network. Our website is obnradio.com. And of course, our 24-hour dial-in message center is 713-570-6736. And without any further delay, we'll jump right into today's episode. We got a lot to talk about on today, and we might as well get right into it. Early signings have been reported. We'll dig a little deeper into that, but we'll give you right now a recap from the Lady Panthers basketball program as they fell victim to Iowa State by the score of 94-46. Coach LaBeouf will now give us a recap.
This is Sean LaBeouf, assistant women's basketball coach at Prairie View A&M. Final score of our game tonight: Iowa State 94, Prairie View 46. Bright spots for the game tonight: Artavia Ford led us in scoring with 22 points, 9 of 16 from the field. And the best effort and the toughest kid on the floor tonight, Dominic Newman, did a very good job the entire night, bringing intensity and toughness. Another bright spot of the game, one of the few. Second half, we were only outscored 8 points. Iowa State is a very good team, and they will be a tournament team. Look forward to trying to rebound on Friday against Texas A&M with a better effort.
And, of course, we do thank Coach Sean LaBeouf for calling in to give us the update and the recap. The Lady Panthers will now fall to 3-6 overall, and they'll next take on the number 23rd ranked Lady Aggies of Texas A&M. Lady Aggies, of course, representing the Southeastern Athletic Conference. They are 9-2 at the early start of this season. The men will be back in action as well. They'll go out to Seattle and they'll take on the Red Hawks. Red Hawks coming in with a 10-3 record, representing the WAC, the Western Athletic Conference, and the men will come in at a 1-9 record. Now I know 1-9, 3-6 does not sound promising. However, that's part of this model that we have adopted in the SWAC and the Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference and other FCS programs. You have to, in their minds, play these money games in order to get the necessary funding for the rest of the athletic programs. So hopefully they're building some character, displaying heart and determination as they get prepared for the regular season, which will be coming up at the end of the break. We're right at the end of semester. Congratulations to those December grads as we'll continue to move things right along. We're going to move things right along right now on the football side of things. We got a message from the Ghost as we'll recap the early signings for Prairie View and Texas Southern University.
This is Patricia Baer, president of JZE Building and Restoration. We specialize in full roof replacement and roof leaks. We assist homeowners with filing insurance claims and help you with the full process from start to finish. We are a complete remodeling and rehab company for commercial and residential. We do drywall, electrical, plumbing, HVAC, flooring, fencing, paint, framing, and much more. We can handle any job, small or large. Contact information is 832-319-8477, JZE Building and Restoration.
Early signing has concluded. The Panthers signed 7 majority, if not all, I believe, are transfers from either JUCO or other programs. Meanwhile, down the road, Texas Southern signs 10. And looking at the early tail of the tapes, out of the 10 that Texas Southern signed, 5 of those were from Texas, and 6 were by way of JUCO transfer, or if not other programs. We'll just say transfer students. PV, the 7 signed, none from Texas, and 7 from the JUCO rankings or transfer rankings. Prairie View signed 2 offensive linemen, 2 wide receivers, 2 linebackers, and the quarterback. 4 from Louisiana, 3 from Mississippi. We'll now give you the tail of the tapes of the newly signed Panthers. First offensive lineman was Javius Bartney. Offensive lineman, 6'5", 305 pounds. He'll come in as a junior. Coming from Jackson, Mississippi, in Copiah Lincoln Junior College. We do have Kiavante Caston, wide receiver, listed at 5'11", 185 pounds. He'll be a junior. From Natchez, Mississippi, went to East Central Community College. Next is another wide receiver, and I hope I'm saying his name correctly, Kellerwan Chris, wide receiver, listed at 6'1", 185 pounds. He'll come in as a sophomore. From New Orleans, Louisiana, transfer from Texas A&M. Next, another offensive lineman, Eric Dunn, listed at 6'7", 285 pounds. He's a junior, and he'll be coming from Kentwood, Louisiana, by way of Copiah Lincoln Junior College. Next on the list would be Shaheed Reese, linebacker, listed at 6 foot, 223 pounds, coming in as a sophomore. He too from New Orleans, transferring from Ball State. Next linebacker on the radar, coming in at 6'1", would be Trashad Smith. Trashad Smith, listed at 225 pounds, junior, from Centerville, Mississippi, coming from the Mississippi Delta. Got him listed at 225, as I mentioned. Then there's Mr. T.J. Starks, quarterback, 6'3", 190-pound junior, by way of New Orleans, went to Iowa Western. So those are the early signees for the Ghost and Company. See how things pan out in the very near future. But before we go any further, we'll hear a little soundbite from Coach Dooley as he was reflecting with Mr. Dwayne Lewis on how he feels about the early signings.
7-man signing class. Really talk about what this group brings to our program.
Well, I thought it gave us some much-needed depth, and it also gave us some experience with these guys here. These guys been playing college football, so we was able to get some guys in some areas that were needed, and the experience, I think, is huge to our football team.
We saw last year some immediate impact from the signing class of 2018. Can this class from these 7 guys have that same type impact?
Yeah, I can say right now we're off to a great start because this was a early signing period. So, getting these type of individuals this early on the early signing period, I think it brings a lot to the table, and I'm very excited about it.
Hate to single one guy out, but is there anyone in this class that maybe was a steal amongst the group?
Well, when we talk about Prairie View A&M University, I think there is no steal. Our type of athletes belong at a place such of this magnitude. When you talk about the higher education, when you talk about our athletic facilities, and you just talk about Prairie View within itself. So I think these guys they signed where they needed to sign at.
How much does the early signing period maybe perhaps change how you approach things going forward, as opposed to having to wait until February to be able to get some guys signed in December?
I think it falls right into line with what I want to do. I'm very aggressive when it comes down to recruiting, and so is my staff. So, right here it falls right into play with the things that we want to accomplish. So now we can just get these guys locked in a lot earlier than opposed to having to wait all the way to February.
And that, of course, was the Ghost, Eric Dooley. We do thank Sports Information Director Dwayne Lewis for providing us with that soundbite. The question was asked, was there any particular ball players that stood out? Understandably, Coach Dooley said not in particular. All of them stand out because of the opportunities that Prairie View provide. But from me looking at the short list, the two that stand out for me right now are the offensive line recruits, or should I say signees. Javius Bartney, 6'5", 305 pounds. I'm hoping that he's athletic and strong. And then, of course, the other offensive lineman, Mr. Eric Dunn, listed at 6'7", 285 pounds. A little bit light, but once again, I'm hoping this guy's athletic and can come in and be a right now impact player. He and Mr. Bartney. Now, just from speculation, at 6'5", 6'7", those guys have to be tackles. And we know and understand that the engine begins to move from the guys up front. So we got two of the big guys in. Hopefully they come in and be impactful players. And there was another thing that was mentioned in the soundbite from the Ghost. He said he wants to be able to do what he wants to do. And we know historically that an Eric Dooley-led offense, although Ted White is the offensive coordinator, still falls under the Ghost's orders and flow, is to have a big O-line and a mobile quarterback. A quarterback who can be a game changer. And when you go out and you bring in the likes of a TJ Starks, 6'3", 190-pound junior, just from outside looking in, I don't bring in a guy like that to be a reserve. I'm bringing in a guy like that to compete for the starting position. So we'll see how these things pan out. Going in for the experience, and it seems like a move of urgency for the Ghost. Said, I need some right now ball players. And he's gone out with this early December signing. We'll see how this pans out. Keep your ear on the ground and eyes wide open and locked right here at the Mike Prince Show. I must exit stage left. My time has come that I must bid you an adieu. However, we want to remind you today's episode was provided for you by the legal services of attorney Lee Van Richardson, located at 1047 Austin Street in Hempstead, Texas. You can call and make your appointment today by dialing 979-826-8008. I must go. Until the next time, you guys be blessed, and we'll see you on the other side.